Hello, Biafra'S, all lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Long live Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra land. Long live United States of Biafra. Long live the good people of Biafra. My people, in this video, you will learn a lot. So do not be in a hurry. Tighten your seatbelts and watch this video. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share this video and also give us a thumbs up. Thank you and God bless you. Let's go. Biafra is here. Biafra is not going anywhere. Biafra is here. Biafra restoration has transcended into legal methodology. Very shortly, you will see a new Biafra movement. No more protests on the streets. No more agitation. No more lockdowns in the southeast or in Biafra land. What you will be seeing is legal methodology. The quest for Biafra restoration has metamorphosed into the legal system. UN is involved, AU is involved, EU is involved, the world is involved, the world is watching. The quest for Biafra restoration is now. Now, take a look to this.
In the case of the Nigerian and the Biafran issue, they should sit on the round table, discuss the separation, because it's obviously not working. It's not working. It has not worked for the past 65 years, and that we got independent. So I don't know what magic we're going to do to make it work in this new dispensation when everybody is tearing the other person apart.
I think a lot of people are so concerned that if there is a separation or a secession of Biafra, if Biafra leaves Nigeria today, that their investment in Nigeria, so to say, like in the northern part, western part of Nigeria, will be a thing that they are not going to retrieve back. Like it's like going home from being somebody to a nobody, or starting from zero ground one again. So it's been a lot of concern, and I think a lot of scholars say it's the reason why the agitation might not see the light of day, because lots of Igbos have invested vastly in Nigeria. Yes,
that could be a reality, but also there is a way around it. You know, if Biafra comes to exist, Biafra will be a nation amongst the ECOWAS country. It will be a nation amongst the African Union. It will be a nation also amongst the United Nations. And there are protocols guiding all these things, the properties you acquire. We have Nigerians with buildings in Ghana, in Cameroon, in the US. Nobody chased them away from their building because they are a different country. But because we are Africans, and the black man mentality, where the lazy man will want to take properties that does not belong to him, it could happen in Nigeria. I remember there was a time somebody from the north was making a statement and saying that they have already started doing a census of the buildings in case Biafrans leave. Then they will go in and take the buildings and all that. Well, if there was a war, for instance, and that war leads to secession, maybe they could do that. But if it's a negotiated secession or division, all these things will be tabled, and there will be answers to them. And that is why those who are agitating for the Biafran nation want a situation where the United Nations will be involved, the African Union, the international communities to be involved in the separation, so that nobody will feel cheated, and so that things will be done in accordance with laid down standard procedure. Well, Nigeria will not be the first if it happens. You remember there was a nation called the USSR.
The Soviet Union.
The Soviet Union had so many countries, and when it broke up, they negotiated, they discussed. Russia took the things it needs to take, The current Ukraine fighting now took some of its own things. You remember in those days, most of the nuclear power warheads of USSR were located in Ukraine.
Ukraine, present in Ukraine.
And in the course of the division, they said, okay, you don't need to rush these weapons. We can give you something else. We can give you aids. We can give you finances to build, to develop your nation. Meanwhile, you will retrieve the weapons from you. And Ukraine found it profitable for it. And said, okay, yeah, you take the weapons, give us the resources to develop our nation. And with that resources, Ukraine developed a lot of infrastructure, which led to so many Africans and people, so many people from the world going to Ukraine for schooling. Those are some of the proceeds they got. Instead of harboring warheads, nuclear warheads,
that would do them
no good, that you'll be servicing and spending money on, and meanwhile there's no war that will require it in the nearest future. So because of that, so many countries, not only them, Uzbekistan, so many, Slovakia, all of them. So they separated. The buildings owned by Russians who were living in Ukraine were not confiscated by the Ukrainians. They still live there. The only thing is that if there are taxes to be paid, you pay those taxes. So we expect that in the case of the Nigerian and the Biafran issue, they should sit on the round table, discuss the separation, because it's obviously not working. It's not working. It has not worked for the past 65 years, and that we got independent. So I don't know what magic we're going to do to make it work in this new dispensation when everybody is tearing the other person apart. And even from the 1914, when the British government forced us to join or amalgamated the northern and southern protectorate, it's not as if there was any consultation. You know, it was done by the barrel of a gun. A machine gun was pointed at Nigerians and said, look, you guys must be one nation. And it was done just for ease of administration for the British government, so that they could have one leader. Instead of sending so many administrative officers from London and paying them salary, you can bring these people into one nation and one head and pay just a few people salary to run the affairs of the otherwise two countries. Yes, but be that as it may, the document of the amalgamation clearly stated that it should be tested for 100 years. The 100 years elapsed, I think 2014. Yeah, it elapsed 2014. It didn't work. It's not going to work because the ideology of the two entities, the North and the South, they are clearly different. Okay. Our cultures are different. Our ways of life are different. Our religions, they are all different. Everything is different. The way our value system is not the same as the value system of those in the North. And that is why, not the same. That is why in Nigeria, you have the penal code, you have the criminal code. So you have two laws governing the same set of people. You have those who want to do Sharia and those who want to be secular. So our value system are not the same. Our ways of life are not the same. Some people want to keep their wives in Kule, for instance, and some of us said, no, our wives should go look for a job and earn a living and live a life. So the way we want our children,
our worldviews are not the same.
It's not. We want our children to go to school. Some people want theirs to be alamajiri in the morning, they take plates and they go out to beg. We don't want our own children to do that. So the way we see life is completely different. So there's no how, there's no way we can remain together. We're just forcing ourselves to remain together, but it's not working. It's obviously not working at all.
Okay, so you mentioned the roundtable conversation where the United Nations, AU, ECOWAS will sit alongside Nigeria and Biafra to have that conversation, very vital conversation. Do you think and do you foresee that conversation in the nearest future, given fact that Nigeria was created for a purpose administratively for the UK, and over time we could still see the imprints of the West, and it favors them for this, what they created to steal. So they created it for their own benefit. They created it for their own wealth and success. Do you think, since they are still the ones that run the EU, the AU, the United Nations, ECOWAS, do you think that that is possible?
I believe it is possible. Now, Africa is beginning to wake up, and luckily it's starting from the Sahel region. Those from Niger Republic, for instance, have told their French colonial masters to get away from their territory. Those from Chad have also done the same thing to their colonial masters. The same thing with those in Burkina Faso. You see, these are examples of African nations who are determined to be independent. They want to be independent. And we can see the development going on now in Burkina Faso. Before now, the French government was almost controlling the air they breathe. Everything is, you must get authorization from France. Until this young man came in and said, no, we cannot continue to take authorization from you before we do something in our nation. Our resources should be for us. You do not dig up our resources, fix a price for it that is way, way below the ordinary market price. And then not to talk, and then you still incite insecurity in our territory just to keep us down and to keep mining our products. So because of that, they kick them out, and I support them. And I think one day too, Nigeria will wake up to understand that Britain is not helping us. They are not helping us. Now, if you are from northern Nigeria, you could develop more, much more better than you are now if you were independent northern Nigeria, if you are detached from the south. Because, the south are... I won't say they are complimenting you. No, they are never complimenting the North. Neither is the North complimenting the South. They are two different, very different entities. Instead, the other is dragging the other back. So the North, for instance, want to go out, be full-blown Sharia country and develop maybe like Saudi Arabia. That would be wonderful. We will encourage them. It will encourage them also to face the agriculture. They have vast lands. They will do their granite pyramid. They export granite and guinea corn and food stuff and all sorts of things to the southern part of Nigeria in exchange for maybe oil and whatever. So there are so many things the North can achieve if they were independent. Look at the wind. If you travel, for instance, to Maiduguri, Sokoto, you see the wind from the Sahara Desert coming in. This wind can be harnessed into wind energy to create electricity. Yeah, but everybody is running to Shiroro Dam and all the small dams, and every time they tell you there is a collapse of the national grid, and they'll be it's because these things cannot sustain the population. So there is need to have this nation divided into two or more, so that each unit or each region or each section can grow at its own pace, with its own culture, with its own religion, with its own beliefs and ideology. Then it will also help those from other places, those in the southwest, for instance, the Yoruba nation. They can develop their cocoa farm back. Before now, in the days of Zik, in the days of Awolowo, in the days of Ahmadu Bello and the regions were developing and competing favorably, without too much bitterness or rancor. The Igbo section will want to do something extraordinary, and then the Yoruba too will want to do their own. Then they not want to do their. Everybody is competing.
Healthy competition.
And there was development. But these days, what happens? You do railway, you leave the south out of your railway project. You draw a railway from here to Niger. What do we really get from Niger? Meanwhile, Onitsha has a lot of people, trailers fly Onitsha to Sokoto to bring in goods. And then you instead of you to do the railway from Onitsha to Sokoto, you are doing the railway from Abuja to Niger. It doesn't make sense. Do a railway from Lagos to Onitsha or to Aba, where people who import goods, can travel easily. You refuse. Do it from Lagos to Sokoto even. You refuse. But you do from here to Niger. And then what happens? It brings in bandits. It opens the doorway for criminal elements to come in freely. I know, because they say we're ECOWAS nation, you don't need visa. You just travel as you want. Nobody asks you where are you entering or how are you entering. You just move the way you want to move. And then you see it draws us backwards to the extent that in the Federal Capital Territory, for instance, you see men with cattle roaming the streets, roaming Central Business District, just like New York. Imagine traveling to New York and then you see cattle roaming the streets with somebody carrying stick and then hiding AK-47 in some bags in the cattle. Those are the kind of things you see in a country like this, where we do not have defined principles, we do not have defined citizenship.
Okay.
You know?